All right, so we are going to be going into Game 1 of the finals of the Team Evo tournament, sponsored by Gamers Abyss. And right now we're going to have Catechin up in the top left as our yellow Zerg against NYD GMMA in the bottom middle of the map. And I am joined right now by, well, I'm going to say Scott, but Straight Jacket. Yeah, I remember on Skype it was Comatosis or something like that. So
yeah, I'm very.
So I was split between both. So yeah, we're gonna see first of the best of 7 on Metalopolis. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm a Terran player, so I don't have too much input on a PVZ here, but yeah, Catechin again being chatty and all that stuff. So yeah.
I don't know if you're experiencing. I think I do see a little bit of lag going on.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit of observers.
And it looks like he is going to be scouting that close by ground position. But as I was stating before, in ZVP, the meta game towards ZVP from a Protoss perspective is it's either you're going to open up with 4 gates. It's really hard as a Zerg, especially a fast expanding Zerg, to defend a 4-gate, or you're going to be opening up with a 3-gate, and to an expansion, and you're going to be doing your Colossi play. It does look like we do have that Protoss player sitting in the natural, waiting. He wants to know when the time he is going to be taking his natural. He definitely wants to know that. As a Zerg player, you know, you can try to force a cancel. It feels really all-any if you try to force a cancel with a lot of lings on a Nexus. It does feel really all-any when you do that. But nonetheless, it is good because you might force a counter, but at the same time, the TOS player really wants to get that expansion up.
Oh, wow.
And you can just get more ahead at that point. But it does kind of leave you vulnerable for an attack. But we do see a lot of fast expand play with our Protoss players because they do want that, as I call it, the Peruvian death ball of just nothing but lasers everywhere, eating on your units. And your goal as a Zerg player is to really stop them from getting their third. You do not want to toss on a third base. I mean, I have to wear the pins every time I play a Protoss player because I'm so scared of them actually getting that third base. And what am I going to do to stop that third base?
Right, we actually saw Gamma, NYD, take an early gas to prevent that gas steal. Pretty interesting play there. So we might see some early Void Ray play, perhaps. I don't know. In the last matchup between Catechin and Imagination, Imagination went for the 2-gate kind of play, and Catechin kept shutting that down. So let's see how NYD handles Catechin with the kind of, oh my gosh, we see an early Stargate. So we're going to see a 1-gate Stargate. Let's see.
Yeah, we do see that early Stargate going down. So, actually, I've known a few people who have ran into this on ladder, where a TOS player, or one of my teammates has actually ran into this quite a few times on ladder. A TOS player will lay down a Stargate, and what they'll do is they'll pump out a few Phoenixes, and I swear to God, they will snipe your Overlords left, right, and center, and they will get you food supply blocked, and then they'll follow up with the 4-gate. And it's very one-base play, but it is very, very annoying when it happens. This Overlord,
it's gonna spot that Stargate very nicely done.
It does spot that Stargate.
It did see the Stargate, so he knows. He doesn't know that there's a Void Ray coming, but he knows that there's a Stargate, so he is going to begin gearing up for that to defend against it. So very nicely done by Catechin.
And it actually does look like he might be expanding right behind this harassment, so Queens do take care of Void Rays pretty well.
Yes,
it does look like he is about to be finishing that creep, but you know what? Queens do not fare so well with is a Void Ray plus a Phoenix, because the Phoenix lifts up the Queen, and then you're nullifying damage. Void Ray doing a little bit of a dance here. It is close by air position, so the Void Ray is actually going in on its own. There is going to be no Phoenix. There's no Phoenix in production, so the Void Ray is going to actually go into the base. Looks like it is going to try to snipe some queens here, but the second queen. Oh, we actually have 2 queens being spawned from our Zerg.
Oh, wow.
3 Queens total being spawned from our Zerg player, and he is going to very easily fin that off. Like I said, Phoenixes do not par well with Queens at all. A single Void Ray, you know, he saw it was coming. He spawned the Queen. It was there in time. So he has 4 Queens total out on the field, and he does have his anti-air sitting there in his mineral line, and we do see the expansion going down for NYD Gamma, or NYD Gamma. I'm sorry, I'll stop calling you Grandma. Actually, I'm not sorry. You know what? No, you cannon somebody, Grandma. Leave me alone.
In fact, he cannoned someone in the very base he is in right now. So
that is true.
Cannon rushed him right here, under the street light by the mineral line. I didn't notice that. There's actually a street light there. Huh. Kind of pointless street light. So much detail.
It's not really.
So much pointless detail.
I don't know. Sometimes, like when I'm playing OBS, I'll like float off to one of these islands and I'll like zoom in and look at the advertisement for eye pistols and stuff like that.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of like little nuances on this map that are so fascinating. But we do see Queens just producing mass creep, so that is a plus, I suppose, for him, because he saw the Void Ray, he was able to spawn Queens, and now he's just gonna have creep everywhere. Look at all the creep tumors on the map.
I know.
The expansion.
In fact, that's kind of odd because Catachin is always doing the kind of he opts to not spread the creep as much early game, but he is now. So it's just crazy that how diverse Catachin is as a player and how much he can just transition into anything. We're gonna see another Void Ray up here. So let's see how Catachin goes with it.
We do see another Void Ray, and it is sniping the creep tumors. But I've actually been enjoying watching Catachin play. He's very comfortable with his race, from what I can tell. He's very comfortable with Zerg, very much so indeed. Me, I'm more of I do this versus this race, and I do that versus this race, and I stick to a very early build order. I'm not so diverse when it comes. But ZVZ, I'm like, oh well, this guy did this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this. ZVZ is one of the most interesting matchups in my opinion. There's so much you can do. We do see more units being warped in. The robotics bay is about 85% done, or facility I should say. No, the robotics bay. I'm sorry. And we do have the third going down for Catachin. There is no third base yet for our Protoss player. He might be taking it soon now that he sees the Zergs on a third base, but
we're gonna see some Immortal play from our Protoss player NYD instead of opting for that Colossus.
Did he see a Roach Warren down from our Zerg player? Because
I'm not sure.
There's no Warren down.
There's really no point. Yeah. There is a Roach Warren, but I don't know if he scouted it or not.
Oh yeah, he did see the Roach Warren, but I mean, it looks like our Zerg player, he is grabbing the speed on the sick creep from NYD Grandma or NYD Gamma. I call him Grandma. You guys call him Gamma because I have the privilege of calling him Grandma. Actually, no, I don't, but I'm gonna call him Grandma anyway. I don't care.
I think Catachin is gonna take this game. I think NYD kind of cheesed his way to the final matchup, and now that this is being recorded, he doesn't want to cheese. I don't know what's going on.
I really don't feel. Oh, we do have a Colossi out on the field. I think that Spire is the Spire up or is the Spire done? No, I don't see a Spire anywhere for our for our Zerg player. We do have some Roaches out for some meat shields. This is a very small push, and he's actually seeing everything that is going on. So we are probably going to be seeing a Spire going down pretty soon here now that he knows that there's Colossi out on the field. But there's only one Colossi, and we do have another Colossi being produced as of right now. It is almost out. It's about 75% done. So we'll probably see a 3-gate or a 3...
I'm actually surprised that Catachin does not have the Spire out sooner.
Well, he saw that there were Colossi in that, and this is what I call the proper Peruvian death ball. Void Rays, Colossi, Gateway units. And
even some Immortals. I mean, come on.
Even some Immortals. Those Immortals are tough partners, man. They do some damage. Catachin did kind of allow him to get on a third base. I think he saw that the third base was going to be produced. But it is this game is actually turning into a very different sort of game now. He does have Roaches, and there's still no Spire down, but he knows there's Colossi on the field. I wonder how he's going to respond to this, because if our Toss player moves out now, there's going to be a lot of damage being dealt. there's going to be a lot of damage being dealt. There we go. He is scouting. He does see that the third is up, so he has to be a little bit concerned right now. I wonder what is going through his mind.
I agree. This is going to get very scary for Katakin if he doesn't do something to counter NYD's aggressive expansion play here.
You know,
with NYD taking the third, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a very different game. He's going to be able to throw out so many units, especially with 3 more gateways on the way in.
Yeah, and he did take a fourth, but you know what? He knows that this army, for the most part, is out of position. He can flank with Lings and Hydras as of right now and force that army back, and he can just fall back himself. Very, very much so. But it doesn't... Man, it is a very intense macro game. I would like to see some aggression from one of the players, and this army is out of position. This is actually getting saturated. Ouch. And, it does look like he is... Is he moving out with this small force now that this army is a little bit out of position? He could just go for the kill, but this is kind of scary with still the Spires. The Spire did actually eventually get put down. It could have been put down a lot sooner. Oh, and he almost catches that Colossi out of position. The toss is very near that 200 and 200 death army. We do see the armies there are very close proximities to each other, so we are going to be seeing a skirmish pretty soon here. And he does have the high ground. Excuse me there. The beer is actually coming to me. It's like, hey, you need a burp now in the middle of your talking.
Sorry, I'll try to take over a little bit more if that's what you need. And I'm surprised that NYD has not actually scouted Katakin's expo up here. Maybe he knows it's there and he's going to wait for it to go down. I don't know what is going on. And there it goes.
Oh, there we go. He does see it. He's like, I'm going to go check this now. He does get the cancel off, which is very nice.
Always nice to see that, yeah.
Looks like his main is almost mined out, and his third is getting saturated, but it does look like his fourth is going to be going down. The Corruptors are out. The Corruptors are going to be focusing down those Void Rays, but he is sticking to the high ground here. He does have a high ground. It's almost like having a defender's advantage when you have that high ground because you can just force field that ramp. The Overlords don't have speed yet. I'm very surprised that the Overlords are... Oh my gosh. Oh, no. Do not, no. Oh, you just gave him a free Corruptor. The Overlords do not have speed yet, which I'm very, very surprised about. It looks like he has the Corruptors rallied. Oh, we do have some Ling harassment going on here. The army is out of position.
Oh man, wow, I didn't even notice that. Just those small amount of Lings are going to...
do a lot of damage here. Doesn't look like he's fully saturated. He does force some Zealots down at that base, but he can basically safely stream a little bit of Lings back there. And be able to do economic damage like that. So when he does get those Colossi down, it's going to be a gateway army, and there's not going to be really too much to reinforce. He is floating at about 5,000 minerals and about 1,000 gas. We don't see a Spire going down. He is nearing that 300 food army, and there is a little bit of a skirmish going down. He did look like he was trying to go for that kill. He is focus firing down these Colossi. There were 5, and now there's only 2 Colossi left. Oh my gosh, now he's going to be able to toss his food at him left, right, and center. 190 food, there's 12 roaches, 12 roaches, 12 hydras, and a bunch of more corruptors being produced. So these Colossi are going to go down slowly but surely. It looks like he is tossing that 300 food army down at him, and here comes some more gateway units for support, but he's able to walk straight up this ramp. These Colossi are going down.
I don't think NYD is going to be able to come back from this. Katakin doing a very good job of just keeping the macro up. Look at, he's got 10 roaches, 11 hydras in production. I think this might be it for NYD if he doesn't know what he's doing here. Just with that one Colossus left, this is a pretty crazy. And another Colossus on the way. But with these Corruptors out, it's going to go down really quickly.
Oh man.
So it looks like NYD is going to pull back. We're going to see somewhat of a macro game.
And look at this, there is actually one more Colossus, but it's just sitting idle at the base. He doesn't want any sort of backstabs coming, but that one Colossus,
we're going to see a Dark Shrine going down right now for NYD.
A DT harassment is coming out, which is very, very nice. You can just send them over. There's no Overseers or Spine Crawlers at any of these bases.
Yep, so
that's just always the fears that...
Yeah, it's just going to be tech switches back and forth all game long.
We do have that Colossi going down, and it is nothing but a gateway army as of right now, because we do have that one Colossi just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, and we do see our Zerg player, he is taking the gold now that he successfully pushed back his Protoss opponent, and it does look like he needs to fall back, but these Corruptors are taking a little bit of damage. Oh, and there we go, he is moving them back, and I think he's totally forgotten about his Colossi. No, the Colossi is coming in to join the reinforcements, and the Corruptors are going to be able to pick this off. Oh my gosh, there is no support for that Colossi. That Colossi is going down. We do have more Roaches, more Hydras being produced as of right now. That Dark Shrine is about 85% done, and here comes more Colossi on the field, but
I'm
oh my gosh,
surprised he's not using those Stalkers to take out those stray Corruptors that he left behind. He's just going to go ahead and send them into those Roaches, and I think Catachan has this one.
Our Toss player is floating a lot of minerals and a lot of gas, so he's going to be able to warp in Dark Templars. That Dark Shrine is 90% done. It is complete. There's one Colossus in production. I believe there's one out on the field already. Oh, these Roaches are pulling back, and I believe here comes the Dark Templars. The Dark Templars are going to be able to do a lot of damage.
And amidst all of this, I don't think Catachan is going to notice that Dark Templar right there wreaking havoc on his Roaches. So this is not going to be good for Catachan if he doesn't get an Observer or an Overseer out.
These, oh my gosh, these Dark Templars are doing a lot of damage to the Roaches. He's like, what is happening to my Roaches? But he has 22 more in production, so maybe he might even try to brute force it. And he does have an Overseer actually out on the field. Our spectators are being ever so kind with these pinks and helping us out. I've been like hearing them. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on over here?
Those Dark Templars ripping to shreds those Roaches. There are no more Roaches, just Corruptors out, which are just going to get taken out by those Stalkers. And meanwhile, let's follow them. Those Dark Templars are going to stop, move back. Sorry.
No, go for it. We do have a Hive coming out, so we are probably going to see some more Corruptors being produced. And since he is going Dark Templars to deal with the ground army, guess what? Dark Templars are useless against what? Air units.
Right, and we're going to see some High Templars because Psystorm is being researched. I don't know why against Zerg, but you know what? Just whatever, and cut our Amulet.
Well, he resourced Psystorm, but the Psystorm isn't going to be able to do anything right now because the Amulet wasn't completely researched, so we're all going to see nothing but Archons right now, and he did get Overseers in
and
with
there's
his
the
army.
GG from GNYD. Oh my gosh, Catachan took it. It was a very tense game. Good game by both players, and let's go on to game 2.